It's Wednesday. It's 7 o'clock. This is your friendly reminder to take off your daytime pajamas and put on your nighttime pajamas. Now, give it up for your host for this evening, Bill!
Hello, everybody. Hello, Internet. From India to Indiana, thank you for joining us for tonight's fantastic Voyage Improv show, live from your living rooms, wherever you may be watching. Thank you for tuning in for an hour of short-form comedy. It promises to be the funniest 7 to 8 p.m. Central anywhere on Earth on a Wednesday. Now I'd like to introduce our players for tonight. Let's start by giving a warm welcome to Travis.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Travis.
Welcome.
Let's continue the applause for Zach.
Hey. Ah.
My bodacious brother, it's Blake.
Hello.
Where'd he come from?
Not actually my brother, but it rhymed. Let's just go with it. The man behind the magic, Steve. Steve, we're on now. We got a show.
You're over here. Hi.
Came in for a land.
There he is. And you will hear her voice throughout the night. It is our fantastic and talented keyboardist, Becca. So, let us get into the comedy straight away. We're going to start by playing a game called Try That On for Size, where we get suggestions from you, and two players compete. They go back and forth doing the same physical exercise, and then they have to come up with different things that explain what they're doing during that exercise. And so, Becca, what's our first suggestion from the audience? All right, well, we will start it out. All right. Well, you guys are making cookies. I'm going to have Blake and Zach start things off. You guys are making cookies. Blake, I'll let you interpret that however you want, and you guys can take it from there.
All right. I'm making cookies. Try that on for size.
I'm putting tiny people in their place. Try that on for size. Oof.
I'm getting my bag out of the overhead bin. Try that on for size.
I'm a really slow DJ. Try that on for size.
I'm sanitizing my hands. Try that on for size.
I'm doing a really bad sprinkler dance. Try that on for size.
I'm not good at performing exorcisms. Try that on for size.
I'm putting the cold drink in and out of the freezer. Try that on for size.
I'm out of ideas.
All right, Blake, get out. Travis, hop on in. So it's going to be Travis and Zach now doing the same thing. And let's say you guys, your inspiration is the garden. Opera singing. Opera singing is your clue. We're going to start with Zach for Try That On for Size.
I'm opera singing. Try that on for size.
I'm out of breath. Try that on for size.
I'm stirring the air so coronavirus goes away.
I'm massaging my long beard. Try that on for size.
I don't know what I'm doing. No.
All right. Steve, hop on in. I mean, don't go anywhere, but hop on in the game. We are going to keep it with Travis and Steve. Becca, do we have another suggestion from the audience? Pouting? All right, pouting is your suggestion.
I'm pouting. Try that on for size.
I'm breaking all the CDC rules. Try that on for size.
I'm grinding down a really big mole. Try that on for size.
I just got a new eyeball and it's itchy. Try that on for size.
I'm markering my whole face. Try that on for size.
I'm half of an evil villain from an old-timey movie. Try that on for size.
And that you are indeed.
All right, and that is the game of try that on for size. And so we are up and running here online, bringing you fantastic short form comedy. And now, believe it or not, we are not professional improvisers full time. No, we have to supplement our income by working in advertising and coming up with taglines for a bunch of products that you may not even really ever think about or know existed. And that's what we'll demonstrate in this game that we call taglines. So, Becca, from the audience, what's a product that someone wants to hear some advertising taglines for? Coffee tables.
Dining room tables for single guys. Coffee tables.
Holding you up. Coffee tables.
The perfect place to put your feet. Coffee tables.
Because coffee tables just sounds better than tables for big books.
Yeah. Where's Waldo? He's on your coffee table. Coffee table.
Tables.
Necessary
another
place for your grind. Coffee tables.
Coffee tables.
Sorry, Travis. Becca, another suggestion from our audience. Llamas with 2 L's.
One of these L's is silent. Llama.
No.
A discount camel. Llamas.
Save the drama for your llama. Llamas.
Alpaca for shoes for my llama. Llamas.
In Spanish, we call them llamas. Llamas.
We're going to end on that one for this suggestion. Becca, another suggestion from our fantastic Voyage audience. A mustache curler. I could use one of those.
A must-have for every 1920s villain. Mustache curler.
For when it just won't rain on your mustache. Mustache curlers.
When you're tired of just that straight mustache style. Mustache curlers.
For him who is hirsute. Mustache curlers.
They work on hair everywhere. Mustache
Mustache
curlers.
curlers. Becca, another tagline suggestion from our audience. Canned soup.
How'd they get it in there? Canned soup.
You can't find it these days. Canned soup.
Botulism. Canned soup.
A very progresso idea. Canned soup.
It's called canned soup, not canned soup. Canned soup.
The best bell since the Liberty Bell. Campbell's.
Don't stick your own noodle in the can. Canned soup.
Canned soup.
Like you're really going to spend an hour making actual soup.
Canned soup. Becca, another audience suggestion. Jumping.
Because who likes just standing around? Jumping.
Take that, gravity. Jumping.
The new man's exercise. Jumping.
Otherwise, they would just be jacks. Jumping.
What the club is. Jumping.
What else would you do through
Means jumping.
jump? What else would you do through hoops?
Jumping.
Because my dead car needs something. Jumping.
Becca, another suggestion from our fantastic audience. All right. Well, we will end this game then and move on to a game we call press conference. And so I am going to need Zach to leave the room temporarily for this game.
Okay.
Bye, Zach.
Bye.
But
See you
don't
in a
go
bit.
too far. We're going to need you in a second. Now, Zach, in this game, Zach has accomplished something, and he's accomplished it in a specific place. And it's not something that, you know, it could be big or small. It doesn't have to be a very exciting accomplishment, but he will be attending a press conference celebrating this accomplishment and taking questions from us, the collective audience. And through those questions, he will have to guess what he accomplished, what he did, and where he did it. So, Becca, what is the suggestion you got for this game from the audience? He did drive-by peeing. All right. Okay. And did you get a location for where this happened specifically? Okay. All right. Well, Zach did a drive-by pee. Oh, you do. You know who he is. I'm sorry. Yes. Who? So who is he? Zach did a drive-by peeing. We're going to get him to guess who he is. So who is Zach that did this drive-by peeing? He is Betty Boop. Okay, so Zach, just to recap, Zach is Betty Boop, and he did a drive-by peeing. Sounds very challenging. Can't say I've ever done it myself. But through our series of questions at this press conference, we will get him to guess those two things. So let's get Zach back in so he can conduct his press conference.
I'm back.
Zach, yes, do you want to give an opening statement for your accomplishment?
Well, I'd like to tell everyone, thanks for coming out here today. I feel very confident that the thing I did will be remembered for all time into posterity. And I'd like to thank all the little people that I walked over to get to where I am today. Now I'll take some questions. Yes, Blake.
Yeah, Blake from Animation Times. I just feel like it worked out really well for you that you happened to be wearing such a tiny dress.
Oh, thank you. The designer's name is El Chauffeur, and I feel very comfortable in this. Yes, you.
Yes, the Bill from Shoes Daily. Was it especially hard to do this in high heels?
It was. These heels were high. I'm talking like really high. Not like as high as my eyes, but they're still very high. Yes, Steve.
Yeah, this is Steve from Comics Adventures Daily. You like to think that these issues are black and white, but what would you think about the gray areas?
I think the gray areas are okay. I mean, you have your black and your white, and then what's in the middle? We always need what's in the middle. Yes, Travis.
This is Travis from Initial Me BB. I was just kind of curious of your costume design.
Oh, yes. The designer is El Chauffeur, as I said before, and she hails from the 1920s, roundabouts. And she's very stylish. She must be a sex symbol of her time. And I'm going to say that it is me. I am Betty Boop. Hello, welcome. I'm Betty Boop, and I'm marvelous. Yes, Blake.
Blake, from Nature Times. So, what you did, was it pre-calculated, or was it just a sudden urge?
Oh, I thought about it for many days. I read about it, and then I planned, and then I got there 15 minutes ahead of time. Yeah, so and so. Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, so of all the things that you could do, I imagine you made a list. On your list, was this number 1 or number 2?
Oh, I'd have. Usually, I'm in there for a while, just thinking and writing my list. So I'm going to have to say it was number 2. 2. Yes, Travis.
Yeah, Travis from the Model Magazine. You're an 8. Were you ever in fear for your life?
I've been very afraid. Sometimes I get tied to railroad tracks, and then I'm afraid. But someone always saves me. Yes, Blake.
Yeah, Blake from from Car and Driver. I'm just wondering how you were able to safely steer and work the pedals while you must have also been pointed out the door.
Oh, well, I concentrated, and I used my foot to hold on to the steering wheel, and I focused out the door, and I used the mirror with my hands. Yes, Bill.
Yeah, Bill from the Hollywood Reporter. Would you say your favorite Seinfeld episode? I know it was a little after your time, but is your favorite Seinfeld episode the one where nobody beats that guy? That one, the guy who's in the local commercials, he's the whatever, and nobody beats him. You remember that one? Yeah.
And nobody beats him. Talkies just came out, so I'm not sure what you mean by Seinfeld, but thanks for bringing that to my attention. Yes, Travis.
Yeah, this is Travis from a new internet group. We have a long list of members. Was there a reason why you chose not to just use bullets?
Bullets seem too easy. Too easy. I'm more comfortable with the vehicular MS manslaughter. I like to kill people with my car. I'm Betty Boop, and I like to kill people with my car. Blake. More.
Yeah, I mean, there was no death involved, but was this your way of marking your territory?
Yes, I like to do donuts in parking lots and leave an imprint with my tires so people know that Betty Boop has been there. Yes, Bill.
Betty, one has to wonder, why not just use a super soaker?
A splish splash, a super soaker. Well, that'd be fine and dandy, but maybe Betty Boop doesn't have one of those. Yeah, Steve.
So, after all of the allegations against you, would you assume that you're in trouble?
Oh, yes, my bladder's kind of full, and I was driving, so I must have peed and pooped myself while I was driving. Is that what Betty Boop did? Sometimes Betty Boop does that. Yes, Blake.
Well, from what I heard, it wasn't so much yourself that got covered with your waste. It was the unfortunate people standing on the sidewalk.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes I get a little shit-faced and I pee and poop out the car door window while I'm driving, because I'm just that classy kind of a gal. Don't tell me what to do. I'm Betty Boop. I'd like to thank everyone for coming.
Yes, any closing remarks, Betty, before we end this game?
I'd like to thank everyone for coming, and I did it. It's done. I don't want to hear any of you guys complaining about it and I'll probably do it again. I'm Betty Boop. Blah!
All right. That's the game of press conference. We are now going to move on. And want to just remind you folks who are watching online that a lot of artists in the Twin Cities area are dependent on live shows and audience members to keep themselves going and sustain themselves. So if you feel like donating to Huge or Fearless, guys, am I forgetting anyone? Comedy Sports.
Strike.
And Strike Theater as well. There's a bunch of really, really fantastic comedy in the Twin Cities. Links are below if you feel so kind as to donate to their causes to help keep them going, because we have such a rich amount of comedy in the Twin Cities area, and we'd love to see that continue when all of this coronavirus stuff gets cleared up. But in the meantime, we are going to move on to a game of emotions. So I need 2 players to join me on the proverbial stage. More specifically, Blake and Steve.
So you want me to leave? Is that what you're saying?
Zach and Travis can step aside for just a minute. And we are indeed ready to go. So we have a handful of emotions, and how this scene is going to work is that these 2 guys are going to do a scene, but at any time I can switch it, and they have to change the tenor of the scene to match whatever emotion I choose for them. So kind of like emotional quadrants, if you've ever seen us do that. But this is the game of emotions virtually. So Becca, what's an emotion to start? What's a suggestion for the game to start with? All right. Well, what's an emotion? What's an emotion to start with? And these guys are coworkers at a burrito shop. They're coworkers at a burrito shop. And what's an emotion that they can use to start the game? Well, actually, no. They're going to start the game. They're going to start the game normal, and then at some point, I will interrupt the scene to have them take on a different emotion. So this is the game of emotions. Take it away, guys.
Where the hell have you been?
I had to run all the way here. There's no buses.
There's no buses?
No.
Good God, man. Did you bring your tortillas?
No. I thought we'd make them here.
Turn around a burrito shop here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Becca, what emotion is Blake going to play? And Steve. All right, continue.
Yeah, we're a burrito shop. We should be able to make our own tortillas.
If I don't get something to eat in the next 10 minutes, I swear to God, I'm going to bite your nose.
We're just eating our food that we're supposed to be selling.
I'm out of tortillas.
Because you ate them all.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what I do when I'm hungry. I eat. You okay with that? Did you bring me a Snickers?
No, I don't bring food to work at a restaurant. That's not how restaurants work.
Becca, what's Steve's next emotion? And Blake.
Well, we could
think about selling this place anyway.
We could invent new kinds of food. Whatever we have here, just mix it together. Let's see.
I'm gonna go watch Netflix. I don't know.
Guacamole.
Guacamole is so like last year, man.
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos. That's not even the spiciest of the peppers.
It's jalapeno guacamole balls. It's my newest invention. Oh, it's so good. It's amazing.
Becca, what is Blake's next emotion?
It is overzealous,
And Steve.
jittery,
We could make 1,000,000 of them right now. Yeah, we'll make 1,000,000 of them.
A million? I mean, okay. You're making too many of them.
I want to make 1,000,000 right now. I want to feed the entire city with guacamole jalapeno balls today.
What? But what are we gonna do? Feeding the entire city? That means they're all gonna be here.
That's right. And we're going to be rich.
Behind me.
And then we're going to take over the world.
World. I still want a Snickers.
Come on, man.
That's the game of emotions. Steve, go get that Snickers. And Blake, you keep making those jalapeno cheddar balls and what have you. As you guys know, we've already pulled some line structure games, and really, what would a short form improv troupe be if we couldn't deliver some one-liners? And even though we're not in our hometown of Anoka, Minnesota, we still feel contractually and really morally obligated to tell one-liners to entertain the masses and to keep our license to perform at the Irish Bar in Anoka, as we do every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 o'clock. And so this is the game of 185. It's next. It's a staple. We play it almost every week. And now that Steve is back, we're ready to go for this round. Becca, first suggestion from our audience.
I hit the bar.
Hit that ball.
Essential worker. Very topical.
185 essential workers walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "I'm sorry. Actually, I am not. I am serving all of you. You deserve it."
Yeah, I think that's about the only joke that we can do for essential workers. That strikes the right tone, Travis, I think. Becca, we heard you loud and clear. The first suggestion. What do we have else from our audience? Pepper mills.
Check it out. 185 pepper mills walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "I'm sorry, I can't serve you pepper mills here today." And the pepper mills say, "Oh, but you wouldn't believe the day we had, man. It was such a grind."
185 pepper.
So there's this 185 pepper mills.
You can tell the joke.
Zach, why don't you go right on ahead? Right, and they walk into this here establishment where there's a bartender behind the bar, and the bartender's like, "Guys, I just cannot serve 185 pepper mills here." So the pepper mills go, "Oh, well, it looks like we're gonna have to choose someplace else."
Zach.
185 pepper mills walking to a bar, and the bartender says, "How's your day? What will you have?" And the pepper mills say, "Well, I just pulled my husband out of the salt mines."
185 pepper mills walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "No, no, no, I am not serving you pepper mills today." And the pepper mills look at each other and go, "Geez, man, you don't have to be so salty."
185 pepper mills walk into a bar wearing fedoras. And the bartender says, "Hey, man, you can't wear those fedoras. It's not the right seasoning for them."
Becca, next suggestion, please. Musicians.
185 musicians walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "Hey, you better get out of here, otherwise you'll be in trouble."
Check it out. 185 musicians walk into a bar, and the bartender says, I'm sorry, I can't serve musicians here today. And the musicians say, oh, that is symphony unacceptable.
185 musicians walk into a bar, and the bartender says, I'm sorry, you guys were full, we're closed down, we can't serve musicians today. So they all turn and leave in concert.
185 musicians walk into a bar, right? And the bartender's like, I'm not serving 185 musicians in this establishment. And the musicians left in a funk.
185 musicians walk into a bar, and there was a bunch of notes in it.
185 musicians walk into a bar, and the bartender says, I'm sorry, I'm not serving you this time. And the musicians are like, why is that? Last time you served us. And the bartender says, I'm sorry, but last time you promised me a C note, and what you gave me was not what I expected.
Check it out. 185 musicians walk into a bar. The bartender says, you know what? I will serve you. I'm happy to have you here. And he serves the musicians, and the musicians get really drunk and really obnoxious. And well, long story short, the musicians were banned.
Becca, another suggestion from our wonderful watching audience and listening audience. They're probably doing both.
Mm.
Oh boy. I'm sensing a theme. Instacart shoppers.
All right, so 185 Instacart shoppers, they walk into this bar. And the bartender's like, I do not feel like serving Instacart shoppers here. The Instacart shoppers go, you don't have to have an issue with us. We're picking up for someone else. Get it? Because they're Instacart shoppers, so they're probably...
185 Instacart shoppers walk into a bar, and the bartender says, what do you have? And they say, I'll have Schmittix beer. And the bartender says, we don't have Schmittix. Can we exchange it with something else? Topical.
Yeah, topical. Becca, another suggestion, please. Oreos. Oh man, where is Brian Pierce, Danny Sussman, and Amy when you need them? Oreos is the suggestion.
185 Oreos walk into a bar, and the bartender says, what you'll have? And the Oreos say, I'll have a scotch on the Hydrox.
All right, so 185 Oreos walk into a bar. And the bartender's like, guys, I am not serving Oreos. It is against my policy. And the Oreos are like, you got to show me where. And the bartender goes, it's right over there in black and white.
Check it out. And bear with me. 185 Oreos in spacesuits with no cream filling walk into a bar. And the bartender says, I'm sorry, I can't serve you Oreos in spacesuits with no cream filling. And the astronauts say, man, we're just so bummed. We got kicked out of NASA. We didn't have the white stuff.
Oh.
185 Oreos walk into a bar, and the bartender says, guys, I'm not serving you this time. And the Oreos say, why not? And the bartender goes, because last time, all you did was yell and cream.
185 Oreos walk into a bar, and the bartender says, you know what? I'm serving you anything you want today. And the Oreos are so happy. They say, why are you serving us anything we want today? And the bartender says, well, last time you were here, you double stuffed my tip jar.
And that is the proverbial blackout line, virtual style. So that's it for the line structure games this week. But got plenty more good stuff left in this show. We're going to move on to a game called Good, Bad, and Ugly, in which we are going to answer questions in a variety of different ways that you, the audience member, has submitted. So I need for this game, I need Zach, Blake, and Travis for this game. Can't read my own handwriting. And Travis
Bill, I
is
think
going to
I'm
give. Pardon?
Hey, Bill, I think I'm playing in place of Blake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad. So Steve is going to provide the ugly answers. Zach will be playing the bad character, and Travis will be giving the good answer, quote unquote, to the question. Becca, what questions have the audience submitted tonight?
What is the best social distancing sport?
What is the best social distancing sport? The audience wants to know.
Well, let me introduce myself first to all of you. My name is Max, but I am a minimalist. So don't confuse my name with the style in which I live. Now, as the host, can you repeat the question one more time?
What is the best social distancing sport? So what's the best sport you can play for social distancing?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. That would be internet gaming. Just sit there.
Esports,
on
huh?
your, yes, just sit there on your laptop with yourself and just play those video games. Don't do anything else. Don't even get up to go to the bathroom because there might be somebody in there.
All right, Zach, introduce our bad answer. Introduce yourself and answer the question.
My name's Cletus Jones, and I don't know about any sports you're talking about, but when I want to be by myself and distance myself, I go out. I go out to the desert. I go out to the desert with my little dog, Fido, and I talk to him. I talk to him all day. Ow! And I cover my mouth when I cough because it's really important, even when I'm by myself. And if someone tries to come by me, I say, "Get the hell away from me, you." And then they do that.
Yeah, what a surprise. And you, sir, how about you? Introduce yourself and answer the first question, please.
I'm Jerry, and I don't believe in social distancing sports. I like to go and get as close and rub up on as many weird people as I possibly can. In fact, last night I went to the club and I was the only person in the club, so I just broke right on in there and I was dancing around and it was a really good time. I think I might have caught a couple of things though.
I'm so happy we're doing this virtually. I mean, wow. Scary stuff.
I bet you are, Max. I bet you are.
Go to the club. Stay the fuck at home.
Why? Is there something going on?
Becca, our second question that the audience posed for us tonight. Okay. Okay, would you like to supersize that for here or to go?
Oh, wow. I don't supersize anything. That's just total waste. You don't please just don't supersize. I mean, it's so hard on the environment and just in general and take it home. There's no need to use, the utensils they have at those places that you just throw away anyway. So don't supersize, take it home. Matter of fact, don't even go out, cook at home.
All right, Cletus.
I'm Cletus Jones. And if you can't tell, I'm from a Southern persuasion. And everything in the South is big. Our trucks are big. Our houses tend to be big. And our tools are big. So definitely, I want to supersize it, triple size it, have as big as a cow size it. That's what I like to say.
And do you like it for here or to go?
I'll size whatever you want. Here, there, everywhere. The world is my burrito.
I think I saw that on a t-shirt in New Mexico one time. And Jerry, how about you, sir?
Yeah, I'll supersize it anywhere, I guess. I tried to go to McDonald's the other night, and it turns out their drive-through was the only thing that was open. I tried to go inside, the doors were locked, so I just jimmied the lock a little bit, went on in there. Everybody freaked right the fuck out. I have no idea even why.
Yeah, I don't know. And yet you somehow managed to not answer either of the questions. So that's credit to you for just telling a weird story and not really answering the question. Impressive. Becca, another question from the audience. What are you wearing, Max? I'm guessing it's not much.
Well, I prefer to actually, in my own household, really just be bare. I don't need anything. I don't really need clothing. I was told in order to be on your program, I needed to at least wear a shirt. So, I luckily had one left. But otherwise, yeah, nothing.
Cletus.
My name's Cletus Jones, and whenever I'm secluding myself,
twice.
I like to take a hide of a cow and then wrap it around myself and wear nothing else. So I'll wrap myself in the hide of a cow, and I'll walk around, and I'll say moo, moo to the other cows, and they think that I'm a cow and their brother, so they treat me like their own.
It's like you're a giant
cow.
It's like you're a giant hat wearing baseball or something. Yeah. Jerry, how about you? What are you wearing? Should we even ask?
I'm currently wearing this shirt, but I've had it on for about a week and a half now because I tried to go down to the laundromat to do my laundry, but the damn doors were locked. No idea why. So rather than jimmy that one and spend another night in the clink, I went over to the Kohl's. There was nobody there. So I jimmied that lock, and I got arrested.
Are you sure your name's not? Is your name Jerry or should it be Jimmy? Because you sure are picking a lot of locks these days. Oh, okay. All right. Becca, do we have any more questions from the audience?
We do.
Let's go with the best one left.
Besides watching FVI, what's the best activity to be done from your couch?
All right. Besides watching us at Fantastic Voyage Improv, which you should do every 7 to 8 o'clock at Central Time on Wednesday nights, what is the best activity you can do from your couch?
Well, I think you should just pray to nature and thank nature for letting you be here and existing with nature. So I would say do that. And if possible, if no one's around, maybe go sit in your yard and do that.
Commune with the grass, huh?
Mm-hmm. With nature.
All right. Yes, nature, the all-encompassing Mother Nature. Give her a cuddle. Cletus.
My name is Cletus Jones. And
you don't say.
The thing I've ever done on a couch is make love. Make love on a couch. I like to drag the couch outside on the range and invite a special little lady over. We might play some Johnny Cash, get in the mood, get really frisky.
With or without the hat on?
With the hat on, but nothing else.
Of course.
With my cow skin. Yeah, a lot of fun.
That's right. That's right. The cow skin, it's seen some things. It's seen some things. How about you, Jerry? On your couch, what do you do besides watching Fantastic Voyage?
Well, as you can see, my couch is a little old looking, so I went out shopping the other day, tried to buy a new couch. Turns out, goddamn furniture store was closed. No idea why. So I jimmied the lock and I went in and I sat on one of their couches, and let me tell you, I played with something. It was my Jimmy.
That's enough of that for one day. That is the game of good, bad, and ugly. And I think safe to say each one of those characters was weird and different in their own special way. Let's welcome back Well, let's welcome back Blake.
Fucking black.
Welcome back, Blake, for this next game, which is the game of conducted story. And in this game, we are going to get the name of a made-up fairy tale from the audience. And these 4 people in front of me are going to tell a conducted story, but I will be the one that determines who is telling the story at what point. And I will do so through a series of flashcards. So they know when it is their time to take over the storytelling. Becca, what is the name of the fairy tale that these guys are going to be telling us about tonight?
The yoga teacher that ate a puzzle.
The yoga teacher that ate a puzzle. We're going to start with Travis.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful yoga teacher. Her name was Sally. And
she was the best yoga teacher in the world. She taught all the famous yogaers, Yogi Berra, the yogster, the stretch.
The spectacular yoga meister. And she decided that she wanted to move into a new branch of yoga. So this was yoga that revolved around jigsaw puzzles. Doing jigsaw
puzzles was really her hobby. She just did yoga as a profession. She decided to, stay flexible and merge the two. So when she
tried that, she tried doing a jigsaw puzzle in various yoga positions. And she found that downward dog was a position that worked okay for yoga.
And the warrior one was the worst position to do a jigsaw puzzle in. But then she had an idea. What if I bend
myself and create a new position, which she called
the puzzler. It involved putting a foot behind an ear and a hand
underneath the other armpit from behind her back. And by doing so, she was able to contort herself into
a grand position that actually opened up her stomach, her abs. And
when those abs opened up, all of the puzzle pieces on the table next to her flew into her stomach.
And she was like, oh!
And she ate all of the puzzles. And she had a horrible stomach ache for a while. But then eventually the time came to go to the bathroom.
And she managed to shit out an entire completed puzzle, much to her astonishment.
Yeah.
That is the story of the yoga teacher who ate a puzzle. And now, all of you people at home, now you know a new yoga position that you can try in your daily workouts. So you're welcome. And you can combine 2 activities that you love, yoga and puzzles. How cool is that? Never let it be said that Fantastic Voyage didn't give you ways to entertain yourself. Now I am going to need, for this next game, Blake to leave the room. And because you have a party to prepare for, Blake.
Oh, boy.
Yes, get excited.
Hi, Blake.
We're throwing a party, a social distancing party. But Blake will leave, and when he does, I am going to get suggestions from Becca for each of these 3 guys, because they're party guests at Blake's party. Now, this is a future party in which you are allowed to commune together. There's no social distancing. And so we are being responsible. And so Travis is going to get our first quirk for this game of party quirks. Becca, what's a suggestion from the audience?
Travis is Henry VIII.
Travis is Henry VIII. Feel free to Google as needed, Travis, to prepare. Travis is Henry VIII. And how about Zach?
Zach is Zoidberg.
Zach is Zoidberg. which I think is going to be pretty good. You're a Zoidberg.
Oh,
Yep.
I know.
Yes, you do. Yeah, yeah. And how about Steve?
Steve is the entire cast of Cheers.
All right. All right. Sounds good. Steve is the entire cast of Cheers. So just to recap, Blake is throwing a party, and he knows most of the guests, but there's a few guests he doesn't know. And those are the three that you just heard suggested. Travis is Henry VIII. Zach is Zoidberg, and Steve is going to be the entire cast of Cheers. And we're going to start with Zach. We'll be the first to enter the party, and let's get Blake back in here so he can throw his social distancing approved shindig.
Ding dong, ding dong.
Oh, hey, come on in.
Can I come in, maybe?
Yeah, come in. Just keep 6 feet away from me.
Oh, that's good news for me. Do you have any gefilte fish in the house? I think I can smell it.
Yeah, I do actually.
Garbage.
Wow, you sure do like eating garbage.
I don't come to your house, do I? And call your food garbage, do I? I'm a doctor, you say. I say. I expect.
You what?
I'm a doctor. I get treated with respect around here.
Oh, I'm sorry, doctor. I will try to be kinder to you.
It says doctor on my name badge.
I can see that. What are you a doctor of?
I'm a doctor of internal medicine, I says I was. And I see that you've opened up your drawer with assorted wires and got them stuck in your nasal cavity.
Yeah. Can you take a look at that?
I think I have to amputate.
Amputate my nose?
Yes.
Oh, please don't. Are you cold?
Are you cold? I'm not cold. I'm a professional. Stop staring at me like that. I know what a human nose looks like.
Okay, I understand that you're a doctor. Okay, I just can't.
I know what a human nose looks like, and I'm going to cut off the right thing.
Have I seen you on TV?
Oh, I'm very famous. Yes.
Aha.
Sometimes I go on many space adventures with my friends.
Oh. Aha. Yes. Right. Because
my first name is John, and I have a very special friend, Hubert. Hubert and me, we go on lots of adventures together. We have a sordid history.
You do. Are you from the future?
Yes. Yes, I did. Yes.
Aha. And do you deliver things through the future, in the future?
Sometimes I help with the deliveries. Sometimes I stay home and do the doctoring.
I understand. Well, I'm really glad that you're here, Dr. Zoidberg. Futurama. I don't know why I didn't recognize you right away. I'm looking all big and red and lobstery as you do.
Yes, that's what I do.
That should have been a giveaway.
It's harder when you can't see him in person. We understand that, Blake. So I think our next guest is coming to the door.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Hi.
I understand I may no longer exist, but I still expect you to kiss the ring.
Oh, okay.
Very well. I might cherish you with some of my riches if I so choose to do so, but not always.
I've always wanted to be knighted. Can you knight me?
I could, fine sir. I could indeed. But today is not your day of being knighted. Oh no.
It's not every day that I have ghost royalty at my house.
Royalty indeed. I am very much so of royalty. You know, I was such a great person in my time. I had so many wives, so many women that would kneel to me as the ruler of this great land.
Well, naturally, when you're King Henry VIII,
Wow.
Yeah.
you're not gonna have me beheaded, are you?
No, fine sir, you kissed the ring. You are safe for the rest of your life.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Oh, hey,
Oh, hey, what's going on?
hey, you're lucky because my room is exactly 24 feet wide, so there's just enough room for us all to be 6 feet apart.
Oh, perfect. Oh, there's a lot of people coming in. Hold on just a second. Hey, Mr. Peterson, what's going on, Mr. Peterson? Let's talk about what's going in, Mr. Peterson. Oh, been a rough day. Been a real rough day. Hey, why is that, Mr. Peterson? Why is that such a rough day? Well, Vera is back at home, always kind of nagging me, constantly on my ass. It's a little known fact that we only have wives because men decided that they're not very good at living without people, so they found wives.
You know, you're all welcome to stay here, and I totally understand why you came to my place because obviously all the restaurants and bars are closed, so you can't all go hang out at Cheers like you usually do. So the whole cast of Cheers wants to hang out here. That's fine with me. Just keep your distance.
Everybody knows our name.
Yeah. Norm, Cliff, Sam, Coach.
Keep going, Blake.
The one that Woody Harrelson played. Frasier. What's the Carla?
We got Carla. Oh.
I know. Oh, and Diane.
Diane.
Yeah, Diane, exactly. Rebecca.
And Frasier's wife.
Lilith.
Lilith. That's the one.
Yeah. Who could forget? What a party that was. That was the game of Party Quirks. Sadly, we're running short on time. We have a hard stop at 8 o'clock, but we want to end on a high note with one of our favorite games called Sex with Me, in which we get objects, people, just nouns in general from you, the audience, and then we tell you how sex with us is like that. So, Becca, what's the first suggestion for Sex with Me tonight?
Ziploc bags.
Ziploc bags.
Sex with me is like a Ziploc bag. You'll be glad.
Sex with me is like a Ziploc bag. You have to watch out for all the teeth.
Sex with me is like a Ziploc bag. No matter how hard you tug, nothing's coming out.
Sex with me is like a Ziploc bag. It's only good when it's actually a sandwich. Bring your friend.
Sex with me is like a Ziploc bag. Sometimes there's too much air involved. Anyways, Becca, another suggestion from our audience.
Potato chips.
Potato chips.
Sex with me is like potato chips. You're gonna get laid.
Sex with me is like potato chips. Oh yeah, it is salty.
Sex with me is like potato chips. Bet you can't have just one.
Sex with me is like potato chips. Once you pop, the fun don't stop.
Sex with me is like potato chips. Basically, it's like 2/3 just air.
2 air jokes in one show. How
That's
about
right.
that?
That's right.
Becca, another suggestion from our fine audience, please.
Oh.
An improv show.
An improv show. Ooh, how meta.
Sex with
is
me.
like an improv show. Right now, it's on your couch.
Sex with me is like an improv show. I might be asked to leave in the middle.
Sex with me is like an improv show. We're doing it. We're doing it right now. Oh yeah. Great. Yeah.
Sex with me is like an improv show. Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's not good.
Sex with me is like an improv show. If there's no audience involvement, I'm just playing with myself.
Becca, let's get another suggestion from our audience.
A pillowcase.
Pillowcase.
Sex with me is like a pillowcase. It should be changed weekly. Sex with me is like a pillowcase. It's really just full of drool.
Sex with me is like a pillowcase. It's got to air dry.
Becca, let's get another suggestion from our audience.
Grated Parmesan.
Grated Parmesan, not just Parmesan, but grated Parmesan.
Sex with me is like grated Parmesan. Tell me when.
Becca, let's say, are there any more suggestions from our audience?
There's so many. My left foot.
My left foot, okay.
Sex with me is like my left foot. I have two of them.
Sex with me is like my left foot. It hasn't been in shoes in days.
Sex with me is like my left foot. It's most comfortable when we do it in a sandals. Another suggestion from the audience, Becca.
Nerf darts. Nerf darts.
Nerf darts, very on brand for Fantastic Voyage.
Sex with me is like a Nerf dart. It hurts if you get it in your eye.
And that is our show tonight.
Okay.
Thank you very much to everyone who joined us online, whether you were in Joplin, Missouri or Jakarta, doesn't matter. We appreciate you tuning in and enjoying some short form comedy improv, and hopefully we took your mind off things a little bit and made you laugh for the last hour. We're going to do this every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 o'clock Central, so tune in every week. We'll have different hosts every week, different games, and we promise we will deliver a good time for you on a weekly basis. And if you can't watch the show live, you can always catch it on demand as well. If you're like, man, I really like that one game, you can always catch it on demand after the show. It'll be posted on our Facebook page. In the meantime, if you'd be so kind and you can support our friends in the improv and comedy community, links are below. I'm pointing down. That would be great. They're fantastic. We know a lot of the players. Some of us are in those troops as well. So really just trying to support comedy in the Twin Cities and keep it going well after this coronavirus thing abates. So in the meantime, my players tonight have been Steve. Yes, delayed reaction, Steve. Best. Travis, please give it up for Travis.
Oh.
Round of applause for Zach. The man in the 24-foot room, Blake.
Oh.
And last but certainly not least, interacting with you all night long in the comments section. We couldn't do this without her, the lovely and talented Becca.
Yay.
Thank you guys again for tuning in. Have a great night. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye now. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Wash your hands, social distancing.
Stay home.
Stay home.
Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba ba da ba da Ba-ba-ba.